Aaron Rodgers is going to be a star this year. I honestly believe that. I still believe the Jets are a playoff team, and there's many things to unpack from last night. But the first thing that you had to see was, could Rodgers move? Can Rodgers still sling it? And can Rodgers still manipulate the line of scrimmage? And the answer is yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I got knocked around a little bit last night, which bothers me. I'm not going to lie. That definitely bothers me. Aaron Rodgers can still play, and that's mission number one.
Yeah, I'm shocked at how many people, whether it's last night on social media or just getting a sense, a feel of the fan base, where the reaction is, or even reading Vaccaro in the post, like, oh, the defense. And look, obviously the defense was a problem last night. For me, the main takeaway is the Jets have a quarterback. I mean, my God, how many football games for how many years did we have to watch with this team with the embarrassing quarterback plays? Aikman said on the broadcast last night, like historically bad quarterback play for years. You saw it last night. All right, it was in glimpses, maybe one Jets drive yet again, or there was a couple drives for the Jets. I was going to use that one Jets drive line. But Rodgers then threw for the touchdown. But they did have that beautiful drive. Look, they have a quarterback. End of story. And with a quarterback, they are going to be able to be a team that is going to compete. Now, I think there are many different layers to it. We'll discuss those throughout the course of the show. But, whether it's the game last night, what we project moving forward, all those different things. But, man, not only in game, leading up to it, you're thinking, okay, the excitement, as you said, we talked about it for 2 years. Then you watch him go out there, and it's just, I don't know how you could not be beyond excited. Again, I know the result was not what you want, and the defense got run over and all that stuff, and you lose a game, you lose a game. But it's not the same old Jets. I don't know how you could not be beyond excited watching Aaron Rodgers play quarterback for your team. Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback of the New York Jets. And I'll be honest with you, I'm watching the majority of that game, BT, saying, just please don't get hurt. Just please don't get hurt. Please don't get hurt. Which is a weird feeling, knowing that, maybe because he's 40 or because of what happened last year, but it's such a fragile thing. But my God, assuming he stays healthy, it's going to be a fun season for the Jets because they have finally a real quarterback.
I honestly can't remember the last time a Jets quarterback threw a touchdown off and offsides. I mean, I'm not even sure I can remember the last time a quarterback threw a completion off and offsides where they let the play go, and here's Aaron Rodgers throwing a dime to Lazard. Now, listen, far from perfect, as Sal said. We're going to get into all this stuff coming up on the show. BT and Sal, of course, 888-808-1019, Jet fans, let's go. You can make the case that, number one, it may have been the toughest spot that any NFL, and not an excuse, just context here, okay? A toughest spot any NFL team had going into the season. 3,000-mile trip to, a beehive of a venue with an outstanding team that's coming off a Super Bowl loss, that's been knocking on the door for a couple of years, who knows that their window is shutting, and they had uber focus and Shanahan and incredible coaching staff. So, number one, very tough spot. Now, eventually, if you're going to be the team that we need you to be, and we think that you can be, you're going to have to clear these hurdles and deal with tough spots, all right? But to do so in week one, Mike Williams barely played. He's not right. I mean, do you really think Breece Hall's going to have balls punched out this year very often? Probably not. I mean, Alan Lazard might drop some more balls, which he dropped.
But he looked good.
He did. He did, but he did. And there's no question Lazard had a contribution coupled, the touchdown, some other plays.
He made a great catch on the drive prior, not just the touchdown catch.
The one down the sideline?
Yes.
That was great throw. He bobbled it, though.
Yeah.
But the thing that, and again, I'm painting mostly a positive here because I feel that and I believe that. Like, I didn't go to sleep last night deflated or defeated. I went to sleep emboldened. I even told my son, I said, wins are coming. I didn't say that last year.
Right.
Wins are coming. And think about this, guys. So last year, the Jets, Rodgers goes down, they beat the Buffalo Bills, and then the season unfolds and the wreckage that ensued. Last night, they lost. It doesn't mean it can't be the exact opposite, which I expected to be. But the bottom line is they weren't on the field very much. And I really think that the way Rodgers looked, if the time of possession wasn't so skewed, I think Rodgers goes for 250 with a couple touchdowns. I really do.
Think of the feel you had watching that game where you knew early on when the defense got us up, it's like, all right, well, get it back to Rodgers. We have a chance, as opposed to praying for a miracle that somehow the inept offense and quarterback play would lead to some points. It is not like that anymore. It was one game, a bad game overall, but this is not the SOJ. It's not the same old Jets. It's totally different. Now, again, the expectation, where they're going to go, the defense cannot be fixed, all those different things are different conversation. Yeah, this is not the same old Jets, though. This is a Jets team that we expect to be highly competitive because of Aaron Rodgers, because they not only finally have a quarterback. They have an elite level quarterback. He even said after the game he could be better, which I believe to be the case. But you're not seeing a quarterback who doesn't know what he's doing or making stupid mistakes out there. He's going to make other guys better. He is an elite player. Still, you saw that in week 1 in the first game back after being out for an entire season a year ago. I think if you're a Jet fan today, all right, you lick your wounds a little bit from the loss, but ultimately you have to be excited about it. It gives me goosebumps thinking about the possibilities with number 8 as your quarterback.
Now, listen, the stakes are going to change week by week. I mean, and we'll deal with Tennessee coming up in week 2, and obviously this should be a layup that Thursday at MetLife with the Pats, and then Denver, who, I mean, there's wins coming, which is why, I feel good about this. And the Rodgers rust is still there. In the sense that I thought the play calling, and maybe this is an issue all season, it very well might be. And I love the play calling.
I didn't think it was that bad.
It was very predictable to start. Brees Hall left, Brees Hall toss right, Brees Hall off a little dive, a little whatever.
Look, they have to establish the run. You can't have Rodgers throwing it 40 times.
Understood. What I'm saying is, no, I get that.
There was a point early on in that game where I was like, you know what, Hackett's not that bad. I liked the sequence of play calling. I like trying to stick to the run.
I didn't, only because it felt very predictable, and the Niners saw it coming. You could just tell by how they were stacking the box. Whatever, that's schematic stuff. I'll let others who scour tape really decipher that. All I'm saying is I do think that will open up. Aaron Rodgers had to learn to trust his body again, and the coaching staff had to see him. They're not going to throw him in harm's way with 9 rollouts,
especially against that team.
100%. So it was conservative by design. I do think that will change. I do think the Jets' offense is going to be good, and I do think the Jets will absolutely be a playoff team. 888-808-1019, BT and Sal. On the fan inside of our Town Fair Tire studio, friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Rob, first up, Tom's River, BT and Sal. Robbie, what's going on?
What's up, gentlemen? Love the both of you. You guys are my favorite. I am so happy with the way Rodgers played yesterday. I couldn't be happier. He still got it. The offense was humming for a little bit there with those 2 touchdown drives. One thought I can't get out of my head, and it's appalling, and it makes me upset, is that it looks like Hassan Reddick is going to get exactly what he wants.
No, he's not.
No way. We'll get to Reddick a little bit later on, but I'm not buying that. Let's just keep it to Rodgers for the start of the show. We'll get to Reddick a little bit later on. The bigger picture is Rodgers. Thank you, Rob. Reddick is a part of the story. The defense, solid, that's a part of the story. We'll get to that. The main story, because without Rodgers being there, looking like he did last night, none of it means anything. We saw that a year ago. I am just thanking the New York sports gods that we have Aaron Rodgers healthy, and we get a chance to watch him Sunday and then again Thursday in a game that I'm going to be at, BT. I can't wait to see Rodgers come out at home in MetLife Stadium. If you're a Jet fan, think of how long you've waited for a real freaking quarterback. And not only do you have a real freaking quarterback in the NFL, you have Aaron freaking Rodgers. His attitude, his demeanor, all the things he says. And obviously you saw a workout last night where is he prime Aaron Rodgers? All right, well, nobody at 40 is necessarily in their prime that they would have been 5 years ago, but he didn't look that bad to me. He's slinging it all over the place. He still looked good. He still looked confident. I wasn't sure we'd see off the injury. I saw pretty close to what I expected from the Aaron Rodgers greatness. I think there's got to be all positive signs from that last night.
I think so, too. I don't want to start putting numbers on it, but, Rodgers, he's going to hit 30 touchdowns. He stays right. There's other weapons that will be involved that really give the Jets a chance to have a very diverse and very explosive offense. And, Sal's right. Think about all the points of criticism and hope over there, both ways. Over the years, if the defense could do this, and if this young receiver can do that, and if this offensive lineman can help out this quarterback, all the things that we focused on outside of the quarterback spot. And for once, you watch this man line up under center, and you've got full conviction, I know I do, so do you, that what he sees is exactly what you need to see. And the arm talent's still there. That's it.
It gives me goosebumps even hearing you say it. I joke around and use the word sports semi sometimes. Well, last night, dude, sports semi city. I don't get how you can. Again, the result The result of it, fine. Like, that's obviously not an ideal result.
Two separate things.
But there are many things to factor into why the result is what it was. And again, we'll get to that. But watching Rodgers play quarterback for the New York Jets, that to me is the primary focus. This is not, regardless of the result, this is not the same old Jets.
Let me get Zach up in Monroe with BT and Sal. Zach, what's cooking, man? How you doing today?
What's going on, guys? I'm doing good. Thanks for taking my call. So, I just want to talk about the Jets. Like, I don't know, as a Jets fan, how you could be happy about yesterday. I know Rodgers got in there and played. You know, he played more than he did last year. But look, you guys lost the game. They were down by 3 scores for most of the game
So
at
what?
one point. Like, but you lost the game. Like,
So what? We know that. It's a game. They lost the game. The most important thing is Rodgers. What don't you get?
Because look, he's 40 years old, coming off an Achilles tear. I personally do not think he's going to live up to any of the expectation. He was targeting Garrett Wilson, which I did like. But I mean, look, Brees Hall had the fumble. Who knows what he's going to be this year?
What do you mean, who knows? He's going to be one of the most dynamic players in football. So hold on, Zach, hold on, Zach, hold on one sec. So if you're not sure what Rodgers can be, that's one thing. But you automatically went to a mistake that somebody else made in Brees Hall. And by the way, if Alan Lazard catches that first, that's why I had a little issue with Lazard.
That was a bad drop.
On third down on the opening series, the Jets might possess the football for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes and score a touchdown. I mean, Rodgers was ready to play.
So maybe that changes things the way the rest of the game plays out. That was a bad drop by Lazard.
Bad drop.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was a bad drop. But look, I don't think he's going to live to the expectations. I thought they should have gone out there, had him throw the ball more. I didn't like what they did on the first.
Hold on a second.
Drive.
If you don't think he's going to live up to the expectations, why do you want him to throw the football more? I'm confused.
Because if you guys say if he's what you guys say he is, this quarterback, then he's got to go out there and the Salah's got to trust him. I mean, Salah's on.
Zach, you're all over the place.
Zach.
It was one game, the first game back. He's 40 years of age, coming off a season-ending injury. One game against one of the best teams, if not the best team in the entire league. Well, I don't understand what more you want. You got to get consistent with your point. If you don't believe in Rodgers, that's fine. I'd like to know what that's based off of exactly. You could reference the age, you could reference the injury, but you saw last night glimpses of something that Jet fans just haven't seen. Period.
I've never seen a quarterback make a throw. Well, I mean, Zach maybe made 1 or 2 in the one drive against Kansas City. But I mean, that's the beauty of more's coming. Now, listen, again, to me, the word of the season, certainly today for Jet fans, is perspective. I think if you have, and you can do whatever you want, but my perspective is the Jets weren't supposed to win. You know, they were 4.5-point dogs for a reason. The Niners have been a platinum franchise for more than half a decade. They've got coaching continuity. They've got offensive line continuity. They've got quarterback continuity. They've got defensive continuity. The Niners are a machine that's been humming for years. The Jets just left the garage, and they're not really sure how this car is going to handle itself once they start getting a little top speed. Last night was not top speed. If it was, that would be an issue. If the Niners, if this happens against Tennessee, again, then I can promise you will hear a different me on Monday. But perspective, I think the Jets are going to be terrific this year.
Well, the part about comparing them to the Niners, that's a conversation I do want to get into with you because that does mean something. But the fact that Aaron Rodgers was healthy, going in, I said on yesterday before the game took place. Yesterday, I said no matter what happens in this game, even if the Jets get rolled, I'm not going to go nuts. To me, the primary thing was watching Rodgers and getting him healthy through that game. Now, if he can't stay healthy, all bets are off. However, watching him play last night, I don't know how you cannot be excited. Frustrated with the loss, disappointed about certain other aspects of the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we'll get to that, but Aaron Rodgers is the New York Jets quarterback. Finally, he played a game, and there is great reason to believe in Rodgers based off of what we saw last night, even in an otherwise bad effort overall.
I'm totally with you. Jimmy, Jersey Shore, BT and Sal. Jim, what's going on, Jim? Come on, Jim.
Hey, fellas.
What's up, Jim?
Hey, guys. Are you there?
Yes. Yeah, let's go, bud. We're good.
What's up? Hey, guys. I never really got the Aaron Rodgers love. One Super Bowl in his whole career. He had the best team in the conference at least 3 at times, maybe 4. He never won one Super Bowl. And the one Super Bowl he won, if the Steelers don't make 2
Here we go.
turnovers.
Oh, so
in
now
the
there's
third quarter. They probably
okay.
don't
So,
even
yeah. All right,
win the
and by
Super
the
Bowl.
way,
And now
hold on a sec, Jim. And if Eli doesn't have a helmet catch and whatever, he's got no Super Bowls. I mean, we want to go through every single Super Bowl.
All right, so give him the Super Bowl. Give him the Super Bowl.
Wait, no, you don't have to give it to him. He earned it. He won a Super Bowl, and he won 4
I've been
MVPs.
hearing about the defense. I've been hearing about the defense. The Chicago Bears in '85 last year. Listen, they got ravaged last night. 8 times in a row they got scored.
Right, Jim.
Defense.
Jim, we understand that, and thank you for the call. You got to get your ears checked. We didn't talk about the defense to start. We'll get to that. We saw it. We know what happened. We'll get to that. That's not the most. If you think the defense last night in week 1, in a week in the NFL where every team is feeling their way because preseason doesn't exist anymore, so it's essentially a preseason. If you think that you're going to judge their defense based off of one game against the 40 freaking Niners on the road in week 1, that's what the Jet defense is going to be for the season. I can't help you with that. You're entitled to your opinion. To me, I'm not going to do that. Now, as BT said, if that happens again in week 2, we've got a problem here. But last night, the primary takeaway is that they have a quarterback once and for all. Goodness gracious, the New York Jets have, and not just a quarterback, as you said, Jim, a Super Bowl winning quarterback. The knock on Aaron Rodgers is that he's so damn good that the knock is that he's only got 1 Super Bowl win. Think about that. We talk about, did the guy win a Super Bowl? Did he win a Super Bowl? Did they win a championship? Rodgers has that, but because he's so good, he's held to an even higher standard that the only knock on him is that he's only won 1 Super Bowl. That's it.
And by the way, he also, 1 year in Green Bay, fairly recently, they had to convert a wide receiver to running back because they had none. I mean, we make it seem like Aaron Rodgers had this abundance of weapons out there outside of Devontae Adams. Aaron Rodgers was kicking and screaming for years, draft me a wide receiver.
Right.
He was pretty much weaponless. So, listen, I understand that there's a lot of intrigue and reluctance to stamp Aaron Rodgers back. I respect that. I understand that. That's just what happens when you're 40 and your Achilles tendon rolls up like a lampshade. But to think that Aaron Rodgers can't throw the football as well as anybody or hasn't thrown the football as well as anybody, really in the history of the game, do you watch football on Sunday or you go apple picking with that guy who called us yesterday, who's going cherry picking because he gave up on his Giants already?
Yeah, I mean, come on. And then compare it not only for him in the entirety of the history of the sport, but compare it just here to the Jets.
Yeah.
When was the last time, like you said, the one Jets drive from Zach, funny on the Sunday night game against Kansas City. But realistically, when was the last time you saw a quarterback look like that last night?
I would probably, I have an answer for you. It's probably Vinny. And, Vinny hitting his first 8 or 9 throws roughly in that AFC Championship game against Denver. Not that Rodgers was all-time amazing last night. Right. But, I mean, the ability to just fling it and stick it, because Chad had, didn't have a great arm. Exactly. Be accurate.
Fitzpatrick was whatever.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick was, like a C-level talent with a lot of guts who pieced it together. And we respect that. And all the other guys pretty much stunk.
I mean, would you say Favre?
No, because Favre was a gunslinger who was amazing, but was obviously sloppy and cavalier. Aaron Rodgers is like a polished ballet dancer at the position. Relax. Jets going to be fine.
He's what you dream of. Now, the ultimate dream is if you had him, 10 years ago. But beggars can't
ask for too much here, man. We'll take him when he's 50. All right, it's BT and Sal. So, perspective. BT and Sal here on the Jets are 0-1. Did you really think that they'd win? Like, I did think it would be a little bit tighter. I'm not going to lie to you. And we'll get to the other stuff. But in terms of at least last night, answering the question, do the Jets have a quarterback? Can Rodgers still play? For both of us, the answer is yes. BT and Sal on the Fan.